So a warm welcome, everybody. Arthalay presents, powered by EMSME in association with Arthalay MSME Pathshala. This is a webinar for food processing industries where we will be decoding the new scheme of Ministry of Food Processing Industries to create or expand food processing and preservation capacities under Pradhan, Mantri, Kisan, Sampada, Yojana. So today we have the speaker, CA Modi sir.
Unmute yourself. Parinita, unmute yourself.
Yes, sorry. I think my, okay. So today we have respected speaker, CA Modi sir. It is my honor and privilege to really introduce him. I still remember when I attended one of the sessions and I was awestruck with his knowledge and his hold and his idea to really help MSMEs as an industry. So giving you a brief about him, sir has been practicing since 33 years with Modi and Agarwal. He has offices in over 8 cities in Maharashtra. He has conducted more than 50 sessions for ICAI, specifically when we speak about MSME as a sector. He has also co-authorized the book Practice Manual on Package Scheme of Incentives 2013, which was published by WIRC. He was also the chairman of Dhule branch of WIRC. He was also the North Maharashtra conveyor of BJP Economic Cell in 2021. So we have GB Modi sir with us, and I'll also give you a brief about Arthalay as a company, which is a brainchild of GB Modi sir. Arthalay is a leading subsidy and finance consulting firm that provides expertise, guidance, and support to MSME across various sectors. They have a team of highly skilled and experienced consultants, and they identify and obtain subsidies, incentives, and other financial assistance from government bodies, and they help the MSMEs to really grow. On this note, I shall request Tanishq to kindly introduce himself. He's the other moderator with me. Sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. Hi, I am CA Parinita Adukia. I am working with Arthalay to take MSME, how should I say this? The MSME focused ideas ahead. And we have today Tanishq from EMSME who will be moderating the session with me. So Tanishq, please do introduce yourself and tell us more about EMSME and also give us a brief idea of why this session is so important.
Thanks a lot, Pranita ma'am. Hello everyone, good evening. Sadar Namaskar. Myself, CA Tanishq Hingad, and I am the Chief Operating Officer at EMSME. At EMSME, very much like Arthalay, we are also a very MSME bullish entity, MSME bullish company. We are working towards the betterment of all MSMEs in the country, and essentially, we are a platform that is a tech-driven SaaS tool. And what we help these MSMEs are, we help them identify what government benefit is available specifically for their own business. From a database of more than 600 government schemes, we help identify what is specifically applicable to one particular business within 5 clicks from the list of schemes that are made available by the central government, state government across various ministries and departments. And why is this session very important? This session is about decoding the scheme on creation and expansion of food processing and preservation capacities under the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. Friends, food processing industry is a very essential part of our economy. And this particular scheme has been launched with the objective of creating and expanding these capacities in our nation. This will not only help us to enhance the value chain, of the food processing industry in the nation, but also reduce the wastage of the perishable agro produce that our country produces in huge quantities. With this, I would request CA Modi sir to enlighten us with his vast knowledge and explain to us what are the contents and nitty-gritties of this particular scheme.
Thank you, Parinita. Thank you, Tanish. Thank you for my introduction and thanks for starting the topic on this very new scheme. Actually, we cannot say that this is a new scheme. The scheme was in existence right from 2017, which is known as Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. In fact, there are number of schemes under this PM Kisan Sampada Yojana. Out of that, a recently modified, or you can say a new guidelines has come on very 22nd January 2025. And today it is 27th January 2025. Within 5 days, we are decoding and we are trying to analyze what changes has been made in the scheme by the Ministry of Food Processing Industries under PM Kisan Yojana, and specifically the scheme which is related to creation. It means to create the new food processing enterprises in the country. It is not only the new enterprises, even the expansion, the existing enterprises which want to make expansion in their existing project, they are also eligible. And we are going to decode what is in this new scheme or new guidelines of the Ministry of Food Processing, that is MOFI, about under this Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana. These are only the guidelines. Friends, be aware about that. Today we are going to discuss about only the guidelines. The expression of interest will come subsequently. So to make our own members, to make the industry at large throughout Bharat aware about what guidelines has come into existence as far as new scheme is concerned, we along with Arthalay and Emsme has come out with this webinar to educate the fraternity of chartered accountants and the entrepreneurs in the country which are planning to establish new as well as making expansion in their existing manufacturing food processing industry. So these schemes falls under Ministry of Food Processing Industry, which is a cabinet ministry in the central government. And Mr. Chirag Paswan is the cabinet minister of this ministry. And Mr. Ravneet Singh is the state minister for Ministry of Food Processing Industries. And the name of the scheme is PM Kisan Sampada Yojana, PMKSY. It is a very flagship scheme introduced in 2017 by the government of India. See, the guidelines, which is known as operational guidelines for the scheme for creation, expansion of food processing and preservation capacities of Pradhan Mantri Kisan Sampada Yojana, was declared by Ministry of Food Processing Industries on 22nd January 2025. And the exact covering letter, which is a public document, is in front of you on the slideshow. So we are going to discuss about the new guidelines on 27th. Then what are the previous guidelines? Sir, the original scheme come into existence on 11/7/2017. Scheme original guidelines. In year 2017, it is revised 2 times. In July 27, in the month of July 2017 and in the month of December 2017. Again, it is amended 3 times in the year 2018. In 2019, again it is amended for 3 times, and 2020 again amended for 2 times, and the last amendment, which was done by the Ministry of Food Processing Industry as far as this scheme is concerned, was 8/6/2022, and again on 22nd of January 2025, the new scheme has come into existence. What it means? learn all the old scheme, forget all the old scheme, get yourself unlearn, and again relearn the latest. So here, friends, what we are doing, we are unlearning whatever is done from 2070 to 2022. That is the last modification, 8th June 2022. And we are relearning the latest scheme which was introduced on 22nd January 2025, and now applying the new guidelines for our prospective entrepreneurs or the entrepreneurs who are planning to establish their new food processing industry in the country. So, as far as the original guidelines are concerned, how much time the expression of interest has been introduced by the Ministry of Food Processing Industries, and what was the closing date of those expression of interest. What it means, the scheme is not open 365 days throughout the year. Any manufacturer, any entrepreneurs cannot take the advantage or benefits or grant in aid or subsidy under this scheme anytime during the financial year or 365 days in a year. So the guidelines dated 22nd January 2025 are introduced, and anybody who wants to take the advantage of this scheme has to wait for expression of interest. If you say the distance between these two dates, date of expression of interest and date of submission, and the last date for submission of expression on interest, there is only a gap of 45 days. So the ministry has permitted or approved or is expecting from the promoters that they should make application along with the required documents within 45 days from the date of expression of interest till the last date of submission of the EOI on the official portal of the Ministry of Food Processing Industry. So friends, today we are discussing only the guidelines which will be in existence, which will be applicable for the prospective entrepreneurs, those who want, those who are willing to establish new food processing industries, or those who are planning to make expansion in their existing food processing industries. So they have to wait till the new expression of interest will be declared by the central government. So we are equipping, we are getting knowledge about the upcoming expression of interest, which will come in due course. So the latest guidelines, which was introduced by the Ministry of Food Processing on 22nd January 2025, we are going to discuss. What is the objective? The objective remains same, no change at all. What was there on 8th June 2022, line to line, there is no change because the objective of the government has not changed. The MOFI has not changed its objectives. It is for creation, processing, and preservation capacities. It is expansion for existing food processing units. What is the objective? The objective which will help in for what? Increasing the level of processing. You see, it is rightly said by Tanish that India is having huge of production capacity, processing or horticulture production capacity in the country. But being post-harvest management, that is having post-harvest management capacity in the country, the perishable fruits, vegetables are wasted. To increase the level of processing of these perishable food processing capacities, the scheme is introduced by MOFI. Value additions, making value additions in the agro and food products in the country lead to reduction in food loss. That is very important from my point of view and from the nation Bharat as such, that most of the food processing foods, vegetables are wasted because of not having sufficient post-harvest management capacity in the country, and ultimately result in enhancement of the farmer's income. What is the object of the government? You know, the present government, it's self-reliant Bharat, increasing, doubling the farmer's income. That was the motto of the government of India. And I think the scheme is definitely going to help in increasing the income of the farmers in the country by creations of preservation, expansion, and creation of food processing capacity. Then rightly, everybody will be interested. What are the eligible sectors? See, food is a vast item. You know, we people are very habitual to eat various types of food products because of the taste, because of the regional. See, whatever is consumed in Gujarat may not be consumed in Himachal, or you can say Kerala is having different appetite, Maharashtra is having different appetite, Uttarakhand is having different appetite. So it is a variety of food products which is which is used by, or which is we can say consumed by the human beings in the nation or in the country or in the world itself. So what are the eligible sector? Fruits and vegetable processing. They are specifically mentioned in the scheme. So you know, you name the fruits in the country. You name the vegetables in the country. If anybody is making or say creating and doing expansion in fruit and vegetable processing, that sector is eligible. Milk processing, milk pasteurization, paneer, butter, milk powder. So there are number of products which are created by milk, which is a single raw material which come from farm. So doubling the farmer's income, hence milk processing, which is a farming activity, dairy farming activity. So any value addition in milk is also eligible sector under MOFI scheme, that is milk processing. And you know, a people, when he wake up in the morning, he definitely consumes the milk, either in the form of tea or either in the form of milk. But he is consuming milk. Milk is an inseparable part of whatever may be the age of the population in the country, where he is an infant child or a 90-year-old person. So milk processing, vast industrial activity. It is one of the sector which is covered under this. Meat, poultry, and fish processing. Friends, India has got 7,516 kilometer coast belt, right from state of Gujarat to Bengal. There is 7,516 kilometer coast belt, and there is a fish processing industry, meat and poultry processing industries. These are also an eligible sector under this MOFI scheme. Ready to eat, you know, there is a PLI scheme, production linked incentive scheme of the government, Ministry of Food Processing, which is declared by DPIIT, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Ready to eat, ready to cook food products. What is those products? You are all aware about Maggi. You are all aware of it. What is this known as Haldiram Bhujia Wala? It is ready to eat and ready to cook food products. Breakfast cereals, snacks, which we daily consumes, bakery products, any type of bakery products, whether it is a cake, whether it is a curry, whether it is a biscuit, or whether it is a cornflakes, those are all covered. And other food products, including nutritional health products. So this is another sector. Food grains, maize, you know, 180 products can be done from maize as a raw material. 180 products. Glucose, liquid glucose, biscuits, corn flakes, corn flour, corn grits. So many products are there. So food grains, pulses, number of pulses are in the country. We are importer of pulses in the country. Oil seed milling, solvent extraction, soybean oil, soybean refined oil, groundnut oil, cottonseed oil, rice bran oil. So whatever edible oil, see, India is producing 45% of our oil production, our oil requirement in the country. We are not self-reliant as far as edible oil is concerned. So this scheme is promoting to do the new unit under oilseed milling and processing based on modern technology. It should not be a traditional. So oil seeding, oil milling, oil extractions, oil refinery is also covered under the schemes. Other horticulture products, Kerala, these banana products, this mushroom, condiments, mushroom processing, honey processing, spices, you know, Indian spices are famous worldwide. We are exporter of Indian spices. Kerala, if you go to Rajasthan, if you go to say Anand, if you go to Hubli or you to get that Guntur, they are famous for red chili. So other agri hearty products including spices, condiments, mushroom processing and honey processing. National Honey Bee Mission is introduced by Government of India. National Bee Mission, National Honey Mission. So there is a specific mission as far as bee and honey processing is concerned. But under this MOFI scheme, the government is promoting the honey processing industries and they are eligible for subsidy by the scheme of the MOFI. Fruits and honey-based wines. Fruits and honey-based wines. This is also covered under the schemes. Food flavors, food additives, food extracts and colors, oloresins, gawar gum, which is a product of Rajasthan. Coca products are also covered under the scheme. I have given the picture as well as the word so that audience can understand what type of products are covered. But these are the only illustrative list. Manufacturing of jaggery, specifically Kolhapur, Sangli, Satara, and you can say area of Gujarat, area of state of Karnataka, area of state of Delhi, where in large quantity sugarcane is produced, Uttar Pradesh. So this is a basic industry. Sugarcane is the basic raw material. From sugarcane, the sugar is produced and the byproduct or the additional product which is done from sugarcane. See, ultimately, if you see all the products, all the sectors which are eligible, the central point is the agriculturist. The ultimate income will go in the hands of the farmers. That is a central of all these schemes. So manufacturing of jaggery products, tilly, all sugarcane and value-added products of jaggery as raw materials except sugar mills. Sugar mills are excluded. It is specifically mentions that if anybody is establishing sugar manufacturing unit, they are not covered under this creation expansion scheme of the MOFI. Only sugarcane as a raw material and value additions of that sugarcane product excluding sugar is eligible sector. Any other sector that makes food products fit for human consumption, the basic need of the end product, where whatever may be the raw material, from whatever farm it is coming, but ultimately the end product should be fit for human consumption. Then it is eligible to get the benefit under this scheme of the Ministry of Food Processing Industry. So friends, the exception to food processing industries, they have specifically added one more product which is not human consumable. And what is that product? It is animal feed manufacturing unit, that is cattle feed, whether it is in pellet format or whether it is in a granule format or whether it is in a cake format. So animal feed manufacturing units set up in, and the condition is that it should not be outside the authorized mega food park or agro-processing cluster approved by the ministry from time to time. See, from 2017 till date, the Ministry of Food Processing Industries was having multiple schemes. And they have also come out with mega food park, mini food park, and APC, agro-processing clusters. And if such animal feed manufacturing units are established under mega food park or agro-processing, the mini food park world is avoided. So be careful if anybody is establishing animal feed manufacturing unit in mini food park, because the word is not appearing. That's why I am of the opinion that units of animal feed manufacturing units in mega food park and APC are eligible to get the benefit under this new guidelines. And what is the another conditions? The maximum of 2 units in a mega food park, in a particular mega food park, not at national level. Not more than 2 animal feed manufacturing units will be permitted in mega food park and 1 unit in agro processing cluster. So friends, if you go to the list of mega food park and mini food park, or say this APC agriculture, this known as agro processing cluster, there is a list available on the MOFI websites. And if anybody wants to establish this animal feed manufacturing units, they will be entitled to get the benefit under this scheme. Carbonated drinks, beverages containing fruit juice. As far as Maharashtra is concerned, that is Mahabaleshwar. In large quantity, strawberry is manufactured. As far as Gujarat state is concerned, if you go to that Bardoli, or say that Surat Gujarat highway, there is a horticulture sector in the Gujarat state. So beverages and carbonated drinks from fruit juice, and particularly in Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, if you go to, there are variety of food products from where a fruit juice can be created. So pulp, that is mango pulp, onion pulp, or red chili pulp. So many pulp industries are there. Papaya pulp, mango pulp. So pulp industries are also eligible to get the benefits, and they are given conditions. That conditions we can learn because I have a number of slides to discuss. Carbonated drinks, beverages containing fruit juices, pulp are eligible sector. Then what are the non-eligible sectors? I have given you the presentations, the list of products right from fruit processing, milk processing, meat, poultry, ready to eat, ready to cook, grain, pulses, agri products, honey-based, flavor foods, jaggery, so many things are there. Then what are not eligible? Very limited sectors is not eligible. That is packaged drinking water, जो हम बेली और जो ready bottled milk, जो water लेते हैं, that water is not eligible. Activities related to manufacturing of packaged drinking water. In fact, see, drinking water cannot be manufactured. You are just purifying the water. You are manufacturing the bottle from preforms by injection molding machine. So packaged drinking water, water remains water. Only thing is that you are purifying the water to certain extent. So manufacturing of packaged drinking water is not an eligible sector and eligible for financial assistance under the scheme. Then what is another activity? Farming activities such as dairy farming. What is dairy farming? Purchasing the milk animal, having the dairy farm, growing the milk animal in the dairy farming, and extracting milk like Chitale Bandhu in Pune, or there are Amul dairies in various villages of the state of Gujarat, where various farmers are taking milk animal in their agri farm and doing animal farming, or say dairy farming. That activity, once the milk is separated from animals and a value addition is done in milk, then it is eligible sector. But keeping the animals in the agriculture field is not covered, is not eligible sector under the scheme. Poultry farming, you know, birds are kept, chickens or hens are kept. Those are, poultry farming is not eligible. Mushroom farming is not eligible. Hatcheries is not eligible. Are not eligible entities or eligible sectors under this scheme of the Ministry of. I think there is no change at all. No change. Whatever was there on 8th June 2022, same sectors has been continued. Then eligible processing activities. What type of activities are eligible? There are certain activities which are not classified as manufacturing activities as per as MSME Act is concerned. MSMED. So friends, you are all learned. you are aware that each and every state government in the country is having their state specific industrial policies. And those policies are offering subsidy only for manufacturing and in some state to servicing sector also. So processing activities are not covered as a manufacturing activities. As far as this scheme of the MOFI is concerned, eligible processing activities. So what is processing? Sorting, Saltex machine. There are Saltex machine which are color Saltex. So this color Saltex machine is from 2 crore and above. So this sorting machine is also eligible. Grading the grains or pulses according to their density, their weight, their color is also, it is a processing, it is not a manufacturing. Say maize remains maize, dal remains dal, wheat remains wheat. But you are just sorting the maize or the wheat with reference to its density. So grading, sorting, washing, sometimes washing, peeling, cutting, sizing activities are also covered as an eligible processing activities under this scheme of the MOFI. Blanching, crushing, extractions of fruit pulp or juice from the fruits, pulping, as you know, mango pulp is eligible activity, processing activity under the scheme. So blanching, crushing, extraction and pulping is also an eligible activity under the scheme. Then drying, dehydration of onion, dehydrations of red chili, dehydration of papita, dehydration of papaya, dehydrations of tamarind, dehydrations of tamarind. So these are the drying, de-husking, splitting, depodding, de-seeding, color sorting, pulverization, extrusion, freeze drying, dehydration, frying are eligible processing activities under. So the vast activities are given. We have studied, we have seen the sectors, the fruits, the things. Now the processing activities which are covered under the schemes. Pasteurization, as far as milk is concerned, pasteurization, heating or heating the milk up to 70 degrees Celsius and again cooling it to again minus 20 degrees Celsius. That is pasteurization, killing the bacteria from the milk. Homogenization, cow and buffalo milk, it is homogenized. Evaporation, concentrations of the pulp or the mango pulp or the fruits pulp is eligible activities under the schemes. Packaging of pickle, packaging of strawberry, packaging of pulp, packaging of spices, packaging of fruits are approved processing activities under this MOFI scheme of the Government of India. Chemical preservations, some of the fruits, some of the things, say if you are aware about that aula, it is chemically preserved. Pickles are chemically preserved. Fermentations, particularly that fruit juice that is fruity, which is in packed, which is known as which is a packing known as tetra packing. So chemical preservation, pickling, fermentation, or any other specialized facility required for preservation activity is also an eligible activity as far as this scheme of MOFI is concerned. Individual quick freezing, IQA, particularly in case of cold storages. See, standalone cold storage is not eligible. For standalone cold storage, there is a National Horticulture Board which is offering subsidy. And recently, I think a month before, on 1st January 2025, the Ministry of Food Processing, the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, they have also changed their guidelines as far as the cold storage, standalone cold storages are concerned. But a cold storage which is an integral part of the food processing industry, particularly in milk processing industry, or say quick freezing to increase the shelf life of the perishable commodities. A small cold storage, even if you go to any McDonald's, there is a cold storage of 100 kg, 200 kg capacity, which preserves the various types of butter, cake, or bread, or perishable commodities, that is paneer, all these things in a small cold storage. So individual quick freezing, blast freezing. As I told you, meat and fish is also an eligible food processing item under this scheme. So what is blast freezing? It is particularly very, very important in coastal belt of India, where the meat and fish are kept in the blast freezer, where the temperature is minus 40 degree. Can you imagine? It just become a stone. It just become a stone, that is known as blast freezing. Plate freezing, spiral quick freezing. So you are here getting the posters, all this. This is a quick spiral quick freezing. This is plate freezing. This is IQF. This is blast freezing. So these are also the eligible activities as far as this scheme is concerned. Parinda, I am going properly. There is no disturbance. Are you listening to me? So things are going properly. Okay, thank you. Controlled temperature transport like coolers and refrigerated, insulated, ventilated transport. Standalone transport is not eligible. If anybody wants to purchase a refrigerated van, then there is a MOFIS, there is another scheme of the National Horticulture Board. But if you are having a cold chain or fruit chain facility, right from farm to fruit processing to the shop, that is Reliance Fresh, then under that controlled temperature transport like coolers and refrigerated, insulated, ventilated transport facilities are eligible processing activities, eligible component for subsidy under these schemes. Other processing, preservations, transport, storage facilities adjacent to the value additions and shelf life enhancement of the food products. The name itself suggests. The name itself suggests. That's why I have used the word farm to shop. Farm to shop. Other processing, preservation, transport, storage facilities adjacent to value additions and shelf life enhancement of food products. Here, farm to shop. That is important. Firefighting equipment. I think the word is used in isolation under the guidelines, but it does not mean if anybody who is a manufacturer, firefighting equipment will be eligible to claim the subsidy under MOFIS scheme, because firefighting is not a food products. It is a machine, it is an equipment which is installed to separate the fire. Nobody can protect the fire. Fire separation or fire can be protected or can be safeguarded with this fire extinguisher. So standalone firefighting equipment manufacturer may not be eligible, but it is a separate product they have mentioned. But when it is a component used in food processing industries, it will be eligible as an eligible activity. So friends, we have discussed so far about the products, the eligible process. Now the components. What are the components? Friends, you are all entrepreneurs. You are practicing chartered accountants. You are proposed entrepreneurs in food processing industries. And you know, to start manufacturing activities, certain items are taken to the balance sheet asset side. So there are eligible and not eligible assets. That is the purpose of giving these eligible components of the project. So what are the eligible components of the project? And when eligibility means eligibility with reference to getting the grant on the cost paid for purchase of this atom. That was the idea behind these eligible components of the project. So civil work, say they have specifically used the word technical civil work. In simple language, what I understand and with the experience of the schemes of the MOFI, the technical civil work means in which the machineries of food manufacturing units are housed. So godowns, raw material godown, finished product godown is not a technical civil work. So only a technical civil work means a cost incurred for housing the machinery in the building is a technical civil work, and the cost incurred on that civil work will be eligible component of the project cost. And the plant and machinery, but natural, without plant and machinery, how the food processing industry will be doing or will be doing the production. So technical civil work, plant and machinery, and utilities. What is the utilities? Means power generation, DG set, transformer, cubicle, cable, all these utilities essential for the plant, such as DG set, such as transformer, such as cables, are eligible component of the project cost. Transformer, boilers are also eligible as a component. Solid waste treatment plant, ETP, effluent treatment plant or solid waste treatment. See, in pulp industries, whatever that skeletal remains from coconut, it is a solid waste. So government wants, or the MOFI wants, that it should be treated at the processing plant itself. So solid waste treatment plant, ETP, reverse osmosis for purification of the water. Say, in 99% of the food processing industries, water is consumed in the raw materials, and it becomes an integral part of the raw materials. If you go and purchase any commodity, say a fruit juices, it is 70% water and 30% pulp. So the water which is used for creations of those fruit juices should be a potable water. That's why RO system is eligible component of the project cost. Control panel, weigh bridge, though it is not a direct machine, but it is very essential to weigh the raw material as well as the finished goods. Forklift and pallets in which the finished goods or the raw materials are transported. Solar panel, it is a very, very important aspect. Particularly, I have seen number of state government, they are not allowing solar panel. Here, the solar panel and equipment related to installation of solar panel is eligible component of project cost. So promoters who are listening to me and professionals who are listening to me, be clear that while preparing the project report, at the inception stage, at the drafting stage, at the cost of project, include the solar panel in your project cost, because as per MOFI scheme, it is an eligible component of the project cost. So all will agree with me that solar panel, the investment depends upon the connected load of the factory. Some factory may need 300, 400 kilowatt or HP connection. So there is a huge investment required in solar installation, maybe 3 crore, 4 crore, and the upper cost under Maharashtra textile policy, under any cost above 4 crore is ineligible item as per panel is concerned. But here the ministry has very rightly included solar panel and equipment under the eligible component of project cost. Eligible processing activities, the list which I have discussed with you, this This list is just an illustrative list. It is not a final list. The above list is only illustrative and not exhaustive. See, Bharat is a vast country. Bharat is having various agro commodities. Each has their own ODOP, one district, one product. Particular state is particular. Say if you go to Northeast, it is having peculiar type of food products. If you go to South, it has different product. That's why the list is illustrative and not exhaustive. Food processing industry is a far evolving and several innovative processing. So this is just the illustrative. This is only illustrative list. Most of the units are eligible, or protect or processes are eligible. Then friends, you will be also interested in knowing ineligible item for calculation of grant. There, see, the ministry bifurcated accountants are very conversant with the word allowable expenditure and non-allowable expenditure. Similarly, the ministry under this scheme has specifically mentioned item eligible for calculation of grant, ineligible items for calculation, and we should be known upfront. Compound wall, it is not eligible item, may be eligible for bank finance, may be eligible as per as your state government or other scheme of the other ministries is concerned. But as far as this ministry is concerned, the compound wall, the expenditure incurred in compound wall of the factory premises is ineligible item. Approach road and internal road within the factory premises, and approach from national or state highway or nearest district or Gauthan road to the factory premises is not eligible item. Cost of land, I think this is unjustifiable, but they are saying that cost of land and site development, leveling the land, making the land usable for establishing the factory is ineligible item for calculation of grant in it. Administrative office building, I have used the word technical civil construction in which the machineries are housed. So administrative office building adjoining to factory premises or at Nariman Point or at Ahmedabad or any metro cities in business hub is ineligible item for grant in aid. Canteen for workers, again from industry point of view not justifiable, but still it is uneligible, not eligible, not so. Friends, why this specifically this slide is prepared? Here, while you are preparing the estimate for construction of your building by your civil engineer and architect, you have to account for the expenses according to the head given herein above. Normally, what happens? An accountant of a manufacturing unit has only one account head, building construction. He does not have account head for compound wall, approach road, administrative office building, canteen building, or at least you have to bifurcate the expenditure incurred on this ineligible item in your balance sheet separately. Then there will be no question at the time of assessment or finalization of our claim. So labor restrooms and quarter for workers, I think this is also unjustifiable, but the ministry has specifically mentioned only technical civil work will be eligible item for calculation of grant in aid. Security guard rooms and enclosures, non-technical civil works not related to components of the schemes like water tank or say sewerage plant or underground wastewater lines, they are not eligible. Margin money or firefighting pipelines, margin money, working capital, we know this is not a part of fixed assets. Fuel, consumables, spares and stores. These are not. So be careful while billing the machinery. Sometimes what happens, and this is my practical experience, the machinery suppliers bill the machinery separately and certain components, parts of the machinery separately. So what will happen? The ministry will think that these are the spare parts and not the main machinery. So while executing the purchase agreement with the machinery supplier, say them sold me the machine in totality, not in part. Don't separate the machinery in parts and stores and consumables like V-belt or the belt as a separate component. Then foundation of the machinery, separate component. Tell him to bill me a single machine along with spare parts as a unit, not as a parts. Otherwise, what will happen, though your machine is not workable or cannot run in the factory without these parts, but since the parts are separately built, they will not be considered as a machinery. So that this caution, and I think that's why this type of seminars are very, you can say interesting or relevant, because here you will get the practical experience. Otherwise, what will happen subsequent to the machinery, say subsequent to the purchase of machinery, if you approach and your parts are not accepted by the ministry as eligible component for grant in aid, we will think that why this has happened there. But at this stage, if you comes to know, you will save a good amount by way of getting subsidy on those. Transport vehicle except controlled temperature transport like coolers and refrigerated, insulated, ventilated transport are ineligible item of component. Pre-operative expenses which are capitalized. All entrepreneurs, all chartered accountants are aware of it. Service charges paid to the cranes or to the consultant or to the technicians for erecting the machinery. Some of the imported machinery, only foreign technicians, they come to India, they come to Bharat and they remain in the factory premises and they erect the machinery. And they separately billed for erection and service charges for erection of the machinery. So those charges, though capitalized in our books of accounts, are not eligible for grant in aid. Then again, what to do? Said the supplier, it is your responsibility to sold the machine, to erect the machine at our factory premises and give us consolidated bill. No separate bill is required for service charges, carriage and freight charges. If you are importing machinery, there is a charges paid at port, that is clearing and forwarding charges. Custom duty, no doubt it is capitalized, but certain taxes are also disallowed. Expenditure on painting of machinery, even painting. So said the supplier, भाई painting भी तेरे साथ ही include कर दे machinery के cost में. There should not be separate bill for painter and for colors. AC ducting, furniture, computers and allied office items. But computers which are linked to machinery is not an office item. Be careful about that. So you have to make a segregation between office furniture and furniture required in manufacturing. Or computer, say if you are computer generated formulas, computer generated manufacturing process, and those computers are installed or attached to machinery, then it is eligible item of components. Closed circuit CCTV cameras or security system related to equipments is ineligible items for grant in aid. Consultancy fees paid to consultant, food technologist, technical consultant for erections of machine electrical consultant for erections of electrical installations, taxes, GST, CGST, IGST, custom duty, taxes, they are not specifically mentioned, taxes, all type of taxes, etc. on plant and machinery is uneligible item. Stationary items, I think it is office equipment. Plant and machinery not directly related to components of the scheme is ineligible item. Fly catchers, particularly in pulp, food processing industries, this is a very essential equipment. But fly catchers, hand washers, there is a hygienic conditions or too many hygienic conditions is required to be kept as far as FSI license is concerned. HACCP license is concerned. So even the hand washers are not covered. Laundry, there is a specific uniform for workers to enter in the factory premises. And if the manufacturers has kept washing machines or laundry machines, then it is ineligible items. Reconditioned, second hand, refurbished or second hand old plant and machinery, whether it is indigenous or it's imported, it not eligible item of component for grant in aid. Then friends, we have understood what is process, all these things. Then the entities, see under section 2 of the Income Tax Act, person's definition. Person means who? Taxable entities. Here eligible entities, constitution of the units who are eligible for getting or eligible for applying for getting the subsidy under this scheme of the MOPI. Any individuals, individual enterprises, central and state public sector undertaking, Maharashtra Agro Processing Industries, MAIDC, which is having a plant at Nagpur, known as Nova brand of tomato ketchup, central and state public sector undertaking, joint ventures, NGO, non-government organizations. See, what are NGOs? NGOs like this, you can say, Swaminarayan Temple. They are also manufacturing some types of fruits and pulps. So those NGOs, cooperative societies, whether state or central government, self-help groups, farmer producer organization, FPOs, APC, farmer producer companies, public and private sector companies, public and private sector companies. Then what is the status of OPC? One person company. I think it is a private sector companies. It is also covered. Limited liability partnership, LLP, partnership firms, proprietorship firms. Only one entity is missing, and that is HUF, Hindu Undivided Families. The word is not appearing in the guidelines. Hence, any entities which is establishing food processing unit under the HUF capacity will not be eligible to get the benefit. So partnership firm, proprietorship firm engaged in or planning to engage in creation, expansion are eligible. Any organization. This last 2 lines of these slides. Proposals received from scheduled caste, scheduled tribes. अभी हमारा मतलब क्या होता है? What is scheduled tribes and scheduled tribes? An individual definitely is eligible. But if it is a partnership firm in which scheduled caste, SC, ST are also partners. Excuse me. Then holding at least 51% stake in the entity. 100% stake by SC, ST candidate is not mandatory. Majority of the holding should be by the SC/ST candidate. So what it means? 51% and more. So in that case, if 49% is held by general category entrepreneurs in the partnership firm or as a director in the private limited company or shareholding in the private or public limited company, then also it is known as SC/ST. So this is a specific mention in the scheme that only 51% stake by SC/ST. Why I am using again and again this line? Because as a promoter of any food processing industry, you can plan according that if you want to avail more subsidy, you can give 51% stake in your manufacturing enterprises to SC/ST candidate so that your project will be treated as project proposal received from SC/ST category. Eligible location of the project. We have seen the product, the process, the eligible sector, the eligible entities. Again, now the locations. So location can be anywhere in India. There is no limit. Since the project, the ministry is operative in the whole Bharat, so any project which is established in the country within the territory of Bharat is eligible for subsidy, grant in aid under the scheme. So what was the difference between the scheme previous? Here they have removed the word. In previous scheme, it was mentioned that 60% of the grant or the allocation will be made to projects which were established in the mega food park or agro processing clusters. Now they have revised the guidelines by these guidelines dated 22nd January 2025, in which they have removed the condition that out of the total fund allocation, 60% fund will be used or preference will be given to the units which will be established exclusively in mega food park and agro processing cluster. So this is a welcome change in my opinion. So proposal under the scheme will be considered both inside mega food park and agro processing cluster and anywhere outside mega food park and agro processing cluster. This was a huge cry in the nation when the last scheme was introduced. More than 750 application has been submitted by the promoters who are willing to establish food processing unit in the country. If you ask me, friends, I am of the opinion that this scheme should remain open 365 days, 24/7, as is the case with the ministry or as is the case was National Horticulture Board. Why there is an expression of interest? Ultimately, units are coming in the country. So many people are eager to establish and take the benefit. I think government is not going to lose. If they are really interested in earning or enhancing the preserving capacity and food processing capacity of our agriculture product in the country, they should make this scheme open 365 days, 24/7. And they see the miracle what will happen in the country. What will happen with the farmers' income? There will be no protest on Haryana and Delhi border by the farmers. No farmers will come for the MSP. I don't know why this expression of interest, then guidelines. Let the scheme be open like the Ministry of this Horticulture Board. But these guidelines are there and there will be expression of interest. So the scheme is, it is a government view. We have to accept this. So project, the best welcome part of this scheme is project anywhere outside mega food park and agro processing clusters are also eligible. So friends, be free to establish food processing industries at your residence, at your village, at your city, as your taluka, at your district place, wherever you are staying. There is no limitations that or no compulsion that you have to go to the particular mega food park or to agro processing cluster to avail the benefit. So you are free to establish now, and this is a welcome change under these new guidelines of the MOFI schemes. So now eligibility criteria. I don't think why this net worth. It is a bank question whether the promoter is capable to get the loan or not loan. They have made it complicated. Net worth. There are A, B, C, D, E, F eligibility criteria. The combined net worth of the applicant shall not be less than 1.5 times. If I am eligible for subsidy of 1 crore, my combined net worth as an individual, as a company, as a partnership firm, or the partner of the partnership firm should be at least 1.5 crore. If I am eligible for subsidy of 1 crore. I don't think I have never seen this condition any of the schemes of government of Bharat, any 52 ministries of the central government, or if you go to any state government schemes. There, if you name the state in the country, each state is having their state specific policy. But why not? Why this net worth conditions? And again, they have prescribed how to calculate the net worth. And it has to be certified by chartered accountants along with the documentary evidence. Are Baba, you want to establish food processing industry or you want to verify the net worth of the promoter? It is the bank question whether to grant or not to grant the loan to the applicant. What the hell you are going to get from this 1.5 times net worth of the promoter? Whether your subsidy is protected or whether you are taking this 1.5 times net worth as a collateral security. I don't understand why this concept. Maybe being a citizen of this country, I have a right to ask this question. Why this combined net worth of the applicant shall not be less than 1.5 times of the grant in aid subsidies sought under the scheme? Why to make the scheme complicated? Further, in the case of SC/ST categories, it should be 1:1, not be less than grant in aid. If a SC/ST enterprises is there, and if they are eligible for subsidy of say 2 crore rupees, then their net worth should be 1:1, equal to their grant in aid. That is the condition. But I'm not, why these conditions? What is the benefit? And because the net worth is not there, or the documentary evidence of the net worth is not submitted, in past 8 to 10 schemes under expression of interest, number of projects are rejected. Number of projects are rejected. People are willing to establish, people are willing to support the farmers in the country. And since the net worth is not matching, or if the net worth is given, but supporting documents are not given, the ready reckoner, the valuation of the property, the architect, making complicated of the schemes. Friends, you will also agree with me, I think so. Eligibility, net worth, so many conditions are given over there. Eligibility criteria, this is very fantastic. Very fantastic. Final term loan sanction letter from a bank. The line itself. Final term loan sanction letter from a bank. Just imagine that your project cost is 100 crore. How much time the bank will take to sanction the final term loan? Just imagine that your project is the first generation entrepreneur and he is planning to establish a project of 2 crore rupees and he is approaching to the bank. How much time the bank will take to sanction the loan? But here they have mentioned final term loan. What was the change from previous scheme to these guidelines? In previous scheme, it was mentioned in principle sanction. Final / in principle sanction. Abhi wo in principle shabd hata diya. They have removed that word. In principle sanction. Instead of that, what they have come out with? Final term loan sanction. God knows whether they will come with expression of interest with a 45 days gap. They will introduce the expression of interest and final date of submission only 45 days, I think the scheme will fall. The scheme will 100% going to fail. None of the bank in this country is eligible or capable of sanctioning any term loan within a period of 45 days. Not at all, not possible. You take the statistics of Bharat, all the nationalized bank, all the scheduled commercial banks, it is beyond possibility. So miracle, the government, the ministries, the bureaucrats are explaining or are giving the guidelines that final term loan sanction letter from a bank, then only they are eligible to submit application under expression of interest. This is the guideline. I think people at large, the Chamber of Commerce at large, the FICCI at large should submit a objection letter to the Honorable Ministry of Food Processing Industries. Sir, you yourself apply for the term loan. Tell the minister himself to apply for the term loan, whether he will also get from the National Bank or not. So this is a condition, term loan sanction letter from a bank. The date of sanction letter of term loan should not be earlier than the date of issue of expression of interest. So if you want, you have understood the guidelines and you have started making an application with the bank that please, the guidelines has come, I am waiting for the expression of interest to be uploaded by the MOFI. No, the date of sanction letter of the term loan should not be earlier than the date of issue of expression. So friends, those who have already got the sanction letter, they are not eligible to claim any benefit under these schemes. Bank for the purposes, अभी बैंक का भी definition दिया है. So see, so many complications. Only scheduled commercial banks. Abhi, which are the scheduled commercial bank? As a chartered accountant, whenever you are approaching to the bank, मुझे loan भी दो, and ask the question, please clear me whether you are a scheduled commercial bank. Give your certificate that you are a scheduled, then only I can take the loan from you. So here, the final term loan sanction letter from the bank. The sanction date in the term loan should not be before the date of expression, and it should be only from scheduled commercial bank or NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development, or Small Industries Development Bank of India, SIDB. Just submit an application and see with SIDB and get it sanctioned, how much time it will take. And particularly for Northeast, 7 sisters, they have added one more enterprises, that is NBFC, Non-Banking Finance Company, that is Northeastern Development Finance Corporation Limited. Then what is excluded as compared to previous scheme? In previous guidelines dated 18th June 2022, non-banking finance companies like Aditya Birla Finance Limited, Kotak Bank Finance Limited, or say Tata Finance Limited, which are RBI recognized NBFCs or was eligible. Now under this revised guidelines, they have removed the NBFC as eligible entities for sanction of term loan to become eligible to get the grant in aid from MOFI under this scheme. So very interesting eligibility criteria. The term loan of the bank amount should not be less than 20% of the total project cost. Here they have not mentioned the eligible project cost. The term loan from bank for an amount not less than 20% of the project cost. Total not less than 20% of the project cost in respect of proposal from general areas. General area means any general entrepreneur, Bombay, Calcutta, Delhi, Nagpur, Vadodara, Surat, any metro city, general areas, the minimum bank component should be 20% of the total project cost. In case of proposal from difficult areas, what are the difficult areas they have mentioned? The slide will come. Or proposal from SC/ST, that 51% holding, or farmer producer organization, self-help groups, the loan amount should not be less than, I think 10%, 20% is a minimum criteria. I don't think why this they have introduced. Normally, each promoter will take more than 60% loan. So this 20, 10% eligibility criteria has no value. What difficult area? Here they have mentioned difficult area. So what are the difficult areas? Northeastern state, including Sikkim, 7 sister, northeastern states, state of Uttarakhand. The entire state is classified as a difficult area. State of Himachal Pradesh is classified as a difficult area. But both these states, Uttarakhand and Himachal, are very rich state as far as this horticulture produce, fruit juices is concerned. Union territories of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. Union territory. Am I audible? Just light has gone, so whether you can confirm whether I am audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Yes,
Okay,
sir, you're audible.
Yeah, and I'm clear. See, light has gone to my place, so don't worry. Union territories of Jammu, Kashmir and Ladakh. They are also, so Jammu and Kashmir, it is rich for grapes. It is very rich for apple, sorry, grapes I am saying. It is very rich for apple. So, Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, state notified ITDP, Integrated Tribal Development Project. It is a list which is published by Ministry of Tribal Development, Government of India. ITDP areas. Union territories of Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep belt are known as difficult area. So any food processing promoter from this area are eligible for special benefits under the scheme of the Ministry of Food Processing Industries. Eligibility criteria, a detailed appraisal note from a scheduled commercial bank. Again, this detailed appraisal note, there is a PMC, project management consultant, and they are big four. They are assessing the appraisal note sanctioned or prepared by the bank, and they saying that this note is not as per the norms. So my humble request to the Ministry of Food Processing Industry is, please give the format of appraisal note which is to be submitted by these banks for your purpose. Detailed project report. Sometimes they reject that the project report is not detailed. Techno-economic viability report merely stamped and endorsed by scheduled commercial bank, NABARD, without detailed appraisal note shall not be considered. So this is eligibility criteria. Miracles. Infusion of equity of at least 20% of the project cost. Here, everybody is confused whether this has to be infused in the bank before submission of the application, or it has to be infused post submission, post sanction of the application. So it is not clear. My understanding is that the promoter has to bring at least 20% of the project cost as his contribution in general areas other than this difficult area what we have discussed. So 20% contributions and 10% of the proposal from difficult areas or proposal from SC/ST, farmer producer organization. The value of land is not considered. Unsecured loan will not be treated as part of equity. So be careful that all the capital should be brought in the form of equity or partners capital or proprietors capital. Unsecured loan will not be treated as a part of equity. Minimum eligible project cost. Any micro, small, medium enterprises, large, mega, ultra mega projects are not eligible. Minimum eligible project cost means component eligible under the scheme having minimum 3 crore investment from general areas are eligible to get the grant in aid from the ministry. So the project which is having project cost below 3 crore and that too eligible project cost are not eligible entities or projects to apply under this scheme of the Ministry of Food Processing Industries. So minimum eligible project cost, this is my understanding. I am claiming a disclaimer. I am not the authorized persons of the Ministry of Food Processing Industries. Ministry of Food Processing has not granted me permission to disclose or to enlighten the scheme in front of the public at large in India. This is my individual opinion, which may not be the, it is my own interpretation of the scheme. I may be wrong, but as a general word used or the understanding from last 35 years as an MSME consultant, this is minimum eligible project cost up to 3 crore. If any project which is below 3 crore and if the project is established in general areas, will not be eligible for subsidy. So any project having investment in new enterprises or an expansion unit, they only can apply under the schemes. And rupees 1 crore are proposed from difficult area that Himachal, Uttarakhand and Northeast states, and a proposal from SC/ST proposals having 51% holding and above. Even if your project eligible project cost is 1 crore, you can apply under this scheme of MOPI for subsidy. So proposal from difficult areas and for SC/ST proposals, minimum investment criteria is 3 crore in eligible project cost. Eligible criteria, I think we should avoid because there are other very important slides to be. It is already 5:30, half an hour is only lying. Eligibility criteria. Expansion of existing facilities is eligible. Expansion, diversifications is also eligible under this scheme of the Ministry of Food Processing Industries. Eligibility criteria. So I am just skipping. Fees and performance security. I am agreeing with as per security is concerned, as far as application fee is concerned. Why this security deposit? Who can guarantee that the project will be successfully run in future? So here the ministry is expecting to get the performance security from the applicant who is applying under the scheme. So the minimum finance, if any promoter who is from general category or general areas, he has to deposit 20,000 rupees by way of demand draft along with the application to the ministry. And for projects, and this 20,000 is non-refundable. And provided that in the case of SC/ST candidate applicant, the application fee is rupees 15,000. So okay. So government is so only the genuine applicant will apply. That was the intention. But Ministry of this National Horticulture Board is also taking the fees. But as far as state government is concerned, I have never seen that state government is asking any application fee from the applicant. This is performance security. On being selected for financial assistance by the ministry, the successful applicant shall submit a refundable bank guarantee as performance security for 5% of the eligible grant. So here the applicant whose application will be selected has to submit performance security bond which is taken from 30 days from the approval of letter by the ministry. Where the application has to be submitted, that is Sampada portal is there. This portal is given by the ministry. Applications has to be submitted once the expression of interest will be published in the newspaper, national newspaper on Sampada portal. Whatever documents are required to be submitted, I think there is a long list of detailed project report, what it should contain, what it should not contain, a certificate from chartered accountants, a detailed project appraisal note from that approved financial institutions, then registration. The list is illustrative. I think, friends, you can get it downloaded from the official website of the ministry also. Project land, a clear title deed of the land. And if the land is taken on lease, then from the date of application, the minimum lease period should be 15 years. And the lease should be registered lease deed. It should not be a notarized lease deed. And the lease deed should be in the English language. If it is executed in the local language of the respective state, then its English conversion has to be submitted along with the applications. I'm just skipping some slides which are just illustrative. This presentation, if required by the participant, it will be shared by the EMSME team or by the Arthalay team. Selection proposal for financial assistance. Expression of interest will be floated by the ministry. Then you have to submit the application along with the required documents, and most important, along with the final loan approval letter from the bank. So selection procedure, I am just skipping. Friends, you have to appear for examination also. See, here they are giving you 5 crore rupees subsidy, and they have created a portal or a mark sheet, 60 marks to become eligible for this product. And for that, they have given the maximum mark and the eligible mark based on your eligibility criteria. If your project is in predominantly perishable, then 25 out of 25. If it is not perishable, then 20 out of 25. Complete land title, if you have the land owned by the promoter, which is having a clear industrial NA permission, then out of 15 marks. They have demarcated a 15 mark. Complete title deed without NA, then 10 mark. And if the agreement to purchase, then 5 marks. सीधा 10 mark आपके गए. I don't know whether they really want to help the food processing industry in the country or not. Net worth of the applicant, if it is 2 times, then out of 15 marks. If it is 1.5 to 2 times, then 10%. If it is 1 to 2 times, then 10 mark out of 15. Then debt service coverage ratio 3 के ऊपर आना चाहिए, तो 15 में से 15 mark. Then what will be the cash flow? Whether the bank will accept 3 debt CSR DSCR ratio. But here अगर आपको 15 मार्क लेना है तो 15 मार्क आपका DSCR 3 के above चाहिए. Between 2.5 to see, I think they have certain identified customers in the country to whom they want to give this subsidy. I don't think they want to give this subsidy to the general entrepreneurs from the Mofishil Bharat of this country. Debt service coverage. I have dared to speak like that. I am my webinar is recorded. Let it be a public document. I don't mind for that. But I can make an observations which I feel to be not in the interest of the farmers of this country and to the entrepreneurs of this country. Debt service coverage ratio. Project strength. Then again, so here out of these 85 marks, you have to secure at least 60 marks to become eligible. चलो यहाँ तक तो समझ गया मैं. Then there is a personal interview. You have to give PowerPoint presentation and interview before the project approval committee. This is selection of IAS officer by the Ministry of Food Processing Industry. So many filters are prescribed by the Ministry of Food Processing Industries to establish the industries which will uplift the life of the farmers of the country, which will enhance the life of the perishable fruit products of the country. To get the 5 crore rupees subsidy, this much filters, this much litmus test, this much selection procedure you have to fulfill to become eligible to get this subsidy. Then how much? 60 marks for general category and 45% marks for SC/ST candidate. Then only you will be eligible to get the subsidy. I am just keeping this financial assistance selection procedure. I think you all may be interested in quantum of assist. भाई पैसा क्या मिलेगा? इतना सब तुमने सुनाया, इतना सब एक्टिविटी बताया. Ultimately, whatever profession, whatever activity, whatever day-to-day activity any citizens of this country is doing, from morning to evening, 365 days in a year or throughout his life, is the ultimate aim is to paisa kya milega, quantum of assistance, what benefits the entrepreneurs will get after executing or after fulfilling all the criteria prescribed by the ministry. ये आपके सामने रखा है. Grant in aid subsidy will be 35% of the eligible project cost in general areas and for general categories. How much? 35% of the eligible project cost. Keep in your mind the ineligible component of the project cost, not eligible component of the project cost. It is 35% of the eligible project cost. So, in general areas and grant in aid, subsidy will be 50% of the eligible project or difficult areas. Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal, Jammu and Kashmir, hilly area, aspirational district. It is 50% of the eligible project cost subject to maximum 5 crore rupees. सरकार आपके फूड प्रोसेसिंग इंडस्ट्रीज को 5 करोड़ की ग्रांट दे रही है, तो विच इज 35%. If I divide 5 crore by 35%, then the project cost in general area is 14 crore 28 lakhs. And that too eligible project cost. And in case of difficult areas, SC/STs, it should be 10 crore of eligible project cost that you are eligible to get the 5 crore subsidy. 5 करोड़ रुपया इतना इजीली नहीं मिलने वाला है आपको. कितने तो भी फिल्टर, कितने तो भी स्पीड ब्रेकर, कितनी तो भी एग्जामिनेशन, so many things you have to fulfill to get eligible to get this 5 crore rupees. I think the government should undertake the due diligence or the known as a performance report of this scheme from the nation as such. What has happened in the nation by after introduction of this scheme in the nation? I'm not criticizing. But there needs certain concessions, certain modifications, certain relaxation in the scheme. That is my opinion. So friends, what is important for us in today's webinar is that the subsidy will be 35% of eligible project cost in general areas and 50% of the eligible project cost in difficult areas or for SC/ST candidate subject to a maximum of ₹5 crore. अभी मैं थोड़ा लाइन हटा देता हूँ ना, upward revision, I am just keeping those line. This certain theory part I am just keeping because one more thing very important about the scheme. In the scheme itself, they have mentioned that if any other ministry of the central government, if any other ministries or department of the state government is also offering subsidy to the promoter of this food processing industry, they can jointly take the assistance from Ministry of Food Processing Industries and other departments of the central government. that is permitted. And friends, with that object, I am just introducing one scheme of the Ministry of Maharashtra. That is package scheme of incentive 2019, which is not directly related to the Ministry of Food Processing Industries or today's topic. But since the MOFPI scheme is saying that in addition to our scheme, 5 crore rupees, the promoter of food processing industry can avail any other subsidy of any other state government. So friends, Ministry of Food, Maharashtra government under PSI 2019 scheme by a circular dated 31st August 2020 has come out with a scheme for mega and large enterprises. And if such type of food processing units are established in aspirational district, friends, there are 4 districts in the state of Maharashtra, that is Hingoli, Gadchiroli, Usmanabad and Nandurbar. The subsidy will be, can you imagine any project having investment more than 50 crore to 100 crore, and if the project is established in this aspirational district, they will be eligible to get 110% of the capital investment as subsidy. Kitna? 110%. So get the 5 crore from Ministry MOFI under this scheme, and if your project in this aspirational district of the state of Maharashtra, 100 crore ka project, 110 crore ki subsidy. Is it not a win-win situation? It is not a golden opportunity. Why not the food processing industry should come and establish their unit in the aspirational district of the state of Maharashtra? And if their project cost, even also if their project cost is not, they are into MSME below 50 crore rupees, then also the Maharashtra government is giving 100% of the project cost as subsidy if the unit falls under MSME category. So win-win situation. Take 5 crore from Ministry MOFI and take 110% from the central government or from the state of Maharashtra under PSI 2019. Marathwada, entire Marathwada region of the state of Maharashtra, entire Vidarbha region of the state of Maharashtra, Dhule, Ratnagiri and Sindhudurga district, if the project cost is 50 to 100 crore, 200 crore, 100% of the project cost. 100% of the project cost is given as incentive in the form of state GST refund by the state of Maharashtra. Why these specific slides are introduced? Because of this permission given by the Ministry of Food Processing. So friends, explore the opportunity in other states also. Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Rajasthan. Each state government is having their state specific policies, which are also giving subsidy. And the ministry, MOFI, is also permitting you jointly take the benefit from other states or state or central government scheme. So that's why this slide is introduced. So 110%, 110% under aspirational districts, Marathwada, Vidarbha 100%, and rest of Maharashtra, even in Mumbai, Pune belt, A and B talukas, 50% of the investment. आपका प्रोजेक्ट अगर 50 से 250 करोड़ का है, भिवंडी, पालघर से ठाणा और से वाड़ा और से दोपोली, खोपोली, Patalganga, Vashi, Mumbai, even if you falls under A category, 50% of your investment is eligible to get in the form of state GST refund. And as far as central government MOFI scheme is concerned, they are offering subsidy in general areas also. So here it's a win-win situation. In addition to the state of Maharashtra, you can take 100% of your capital cost as investment. How this subsidy is given by the state of Maharashtra? Gadchiroli, Nandurbar, it is mentioned 100%, 110%. And somewhere it is mentioned 100%. And what is the beauty of this scheme of the state of Maharashtra? It is gross SGST, not net SGST. Gross SGST is refundable to you. So avail the benefit of MOFI, take the benefit of Maharashtra state, and that too, if you are in food processing, this incentive for mega, ultra mega projects, large scale project is only to agro and food processing industries, no other manufacturing. And that too 110%. In some cases, it is 100% of the project cost, and that too gross SGST. Just imagine the product, ice cream 18%. If any manufacturer who want to establish ice cream manufacturing unit in the state of Maharashtra, what will be the GST rate? 18%. What is the gross SGST, state GST? 9%. He will get 9% refund up to 100% of the project cost. 110% of the project cost if the unit in Gadchiroli, Washim, Nandurbar, Hingoli, 110%. And take the benefit of MOFI. So this is a welcome step. The promoter should understand the policy of the state of Maharashtra and MOFI and should establish their unit. Say biscuit manufacturing, Parle, Cadbury, bread, 18%, 9% will be refunded, their HSN code. Then pasta, uncooked, 18%. Processed fruits, canned fruits, 12%. 6% is the state GST, which is refundable. Pickles, jam, jellies, and 12%. So, sauces, tomato, 18%. Instant food mixture, 18%. So, 9%. Chocolates, 18%. 9% will be refundable. So, it is advantageous. Implement and schedule. So, other conditions are there. The project has to be completed within 18 months from the date of issue of approval letter. I think this theory part I should not cover. Release of granted, it will be disbursed in 2 tranches. First installment within 9 months from the date of release of the sanction letter, and second installment within 18 months from the date of LOI or in principle sanction by the MOFI. Requirement of document I am skipping because those documents you can second installment, what documents are required to be given. Monitoring and evaluation as usually by the, and here the penalty is given for delay completion in project beyond 4 major clause. So in case miscellaneous provisions, so I think jurisdictions will be the court of New Delhi. Friends, I have tried my best. Practical aspects, the shortcoming in the scheme, the best part of the scheme, which I have tried to put in front of you. I think I have delivered my topic to the best of knowledge. In addition to that, the scheme of the Maharashtra government, how to get the benefit more than 100% of the project cost. I have tried. I take a disclaimer that this is my personal views. This is my personal analysis of the scheme. Somewhere, wherever I find that there is a lacking, there is a stringent provision in the scheme, I have tried to be firm in my opinion. With this, I thanks to all the participants who have joined today on this 2 days call by Arthalay and by Emsme. We both are very thankful to all of you. If you have any question, you are welcome.
Thank you so much, sir. It was really, really insightful as usual. So yes, we do have few questions. So CA Harshal Shah is asking if we have already made investment while EOI was not open, whether we can still apply when it opens up.
No, not at all. Investment which is dead prior to opening of AP, your bank loan is not sanctioned, hence you are not eligible. Expansion should be done after the guidelines has come into existence and after the scheme is introduced. After the expression of interest is submitted or issued by the MOFI.
So he is also asking, is factory boundary wall and internal road eligible? I think boundary wall you had clarified. Internal road?
No, it is not eligible.
Okay. Sure. We have more questions. Tanish, would you want to take up some questions from the audience?
Sure. I would ask. So, one attendee is asking that they have already taken a subsidy for their existing premises under the CME-GP scheme. And now, if they expand or start new unit for food processing, would they be eligible under the scheme?
Yes, provided their cost is more than 3 crore, 1 crore, and they have got the documents as prescribed in the scheme. And once the expression of interest come, they can apply under the scheme.
Okay. Sir, another question from CA Harshal Shah only is availing a term loan mandatory?
Yes, definitely they have mentioned that the minimum term loan should be 20% of the eligible project cost. And for SC/ST, minimum 10% of the eligible project cost. It is mandatory. The subsidy scheme is you can say bank linked credits subsidy scheme.
Okay.
So related to that, there's somebody asking, can you explain the term gross SGST?
Gross SGST means whatever you get from the customer. See, I have sold ice cream of 100 rupees and I have collected 18 rupees as a GST. So out of that GST, 9 rupees goes to the state of Maharashtra and 9 goes to the central government. So that 9 will be refunded to you. That is gross. As far as net is concerned, ग्रॉस माइनस इनपुट रॉ मटेरियल में आपने जो पेड किया इट विल बी सेटल्ड एंड नेट यू आर पेइंग टू द जीएसटी डिपार्टमेंट. Here they are refunding you on the basis of gross, whereas you are paying to the GST department on net basis.
There is one question from Karthik. They have taken working capital demand loan and CC limits. So whether such kind of banking...
Both are not eligible.
Both are not eligible. Okay. Sir, Naman is asking, when is the next expression of interest expected to be opened?
Sir, the guidelines has come on 22nd January 2025. I think they will come out with an expression of interest within 15 to 20 days. I think from past experience, I am saying, I have given the statistics of previous guidelines. Still they are learning, because if they have introduced 11 times the guidelines, revised guidelines. So still they are learning, enhancing or making modification in the scheme. So I expect that the expression of interest will come by next month. By past experience, this is not insider information.
Okay, sir. Sir, C. Harshal Shah is asking, is there any specific criteria for expansion or diversification?
See, here only cost norms is prescribed. Capacity is not mentioned. See, the minimum expansion cost should be 3 crore in general areas, and for SC, ST and difficult areas, minimum 1 crore. So they have not mentioned that your capacity should increase by this much. They have only mentioned your cost of expansion should be above certain monetary limit. This is my understanding of the scheme.
Okay. So somebody is also asking, will the subsidy be released in one tranche or will it be in certain installments?
Yeah, I mentioned there are 2 tranches, 50% within 9 months, 50% within 18 months. It is ongoing. Though your project is not completed, on the basis they have to open 3 bank accounts. 1 term loan, 1 escrow account, 1 subsidy account and 1 his own margin account. So the subsidy will be disbursed in 2 tranches within 9 months and within 18 months from the date of issue of expression of interest. Expression of with it issue of expression of LOI, letter of intent.
Sir, there are a few questions around the bank loan. I will combine them and ask in one go. If anyone has a proper plan and project details, but is unable to get the bank sanction during the time frame of the EOI, expression of interest, is there any mode by which they can instruct the banker or actually play around with this condition?
Write down to the PMO office that this is a scheme. Write to the Honorable Finance Minister. See, your own ministry has prescribed this scheme and your own finance banking department is not sanctioning our proposal. And we are in the interest, we are establishing the food processing industries for the development and upliftment of the farmers of this country. Otherwise, a PLI with the Supreme Court of India. I am using hard word, but because of a last experience, I am telling how we have requested to the bankers to sanction the proposal. In that time, only in principle sanction was required. So bank is not obligatory to sanction the loan. Here now they are asking final term loan sanction.
So I think the questions from the chat screen are more or less covered, but we also have a few questions from the Google form that we had circulated. Shall I ask those?
If they are relevant or those are not covered, you can definitely. We are here to solve the issues of the participants.
Sir, if someone is establishing a maize factory wherein they are also manufacturing and exporting maize flour, are they eligible?
Yes, definitely. It is a grain processing. Maize is a grain. And from maize, 180 products are manufactured. Some of the end products are pharmaceutical also. But the basic raw material is agriculture. So, maize flour, maize grit, maize maize glucose. Though it is a pharma, but it is human consumable, it is eligible.
So similarly, are the activities of organic farming included?
No. It is a farming. It is not a manufacturing.
Okay. Along the line, sir, there is one question in the chat from CA Hetal Shah, whether sweets manufacturing is eligible.
Sweets.
Yes.
It is a food processing industry, sir. The basic raw material is butter, ghee, sugar. So, Bengali mithai banao, the kaju katli banao, you are eligible. In my opinion, if it is, see what this Haldiram Bhujia wala is doing.
Correct.
Even Manmohan Mithai wala in Malad is also eligible in my opinion.
Acha, sir, a
Okay.
lot of people are asking for presentations over email. Of course, we will be uploading the video on YouTube, but do let us know if the audience can.
Presentation, I don't mind to be made public. Okay, let it be known to URI people.
Sure, thank you so much. So for everybody who is asking for PPT, because we've got a lot of requests for that, do keep following Arthalay page. We will be sharing the details there.
Friends, I really appreciate my students, particularly chartered accountant student, who has taken us so many nights, said last 2-3 days, particularly Tejas Sonone and Sagar Patil, both has worked very hard, and you see the quality of presentation. So hats off to those also.
Superb. So there's one more question. Is wine processing unit included in the scheme?
Which one?
Wine processing.
Wine, say, pure wine they are not permitted. Honey and fruits wine they have specifically mentioned, but wine, pure wine is not eligible. In the presentation, you will find somewhere that pure wine is not eligible. Particularly for Goa people, Feni and all Kaju se jo bhi bana hai.
So someone is asking, is a makhana factory
Yes,
eligible?
consumable.
Okay. And sir, soft drink beverage industry.
Yeah, I have mentioned in the presentation. Soft drink is also eligible. Only aerated water, packaged, Kinley, berry or whatever water we are purchasing, bottles, 20 rupees, 10 rupees, those are not eligible.
I request the audience, if you have any more questions, please put it in the chat.
So I think we have completed the question answer sessions.
Yes, we can. Joshi sir, the recording will be uploaded on YouTube in coming days. Do keep following EMSME page and Arthalay page for the update on when it is being uploaded on YouTube. We'll definitely be sharing the link. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here. Thank you so much, GB
Audience, thank you, audience, for attending. And thank you to Parinita. And thank you to Tanish for taking this seminar, hosting or becoming the coordinator of this seminar. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for giving us the opportunity.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Tanish. So on that note, we shall be logging off. Please do keep following EMSME page and Arthalay page, and you can anytime upload your questions or send through messages. Whatever doubts you have, we shall be very, very keen to answer your doubts. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.